All right, good morning, traders. Good morning, everybody here in the BYOB room early in the morning. Today is August 24th, 2023. My name is John Kerrigan. I moderate the BYOB trading room. So, good morning, traders. My SPY pivot this morning is 442.38. SPY, IWM, and QQQ are all in hourly uptrends, working their way higher, creating the right shoulder of a possible head and shoulders patterns. On the daily chart, the diamonds currently remain in their daily downtrend. FNGU is in an hourly uptrend, working its way back to possibly test the neckline of the current head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart. The US dollar index continues to hold bullish near the recent highs in the daily chart uptrend. Crude oil, USO, is showing a possible head and shoulders pattern on the daily chart. UNG is still weak, trading under the midpoint of the current weekly chart bear flag. Gold remains in a downtrend. Silver now testing the high end of the current channel on the weekly chart. All right, let's take a look. Let's dive into the market here. Here's NVIDIA. NVIDIA had monster earnings, and they're up this morning big. So nice job for NVIDIA. Let's take a look at the SPY. All right, so here we are with the SPY in the pre-morning activity. Let's take that off. We'll note that this is the hourly uptrend, still in that hourly uptrend, creating the right shoulder of that head and shoulders pattern. This would be shoulder, this would be left shoulder, neck, left neck. All of this is the head. This would be right neck. Now we're working on right shoulder. And we are in an hourly uptrend working on the right shoulder. So we'll see where they're going to find resistance. Now these valleys that come down low, those will be the minor resistance. The tails that stick up, these peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4. These peaks are the major resistance. And of course, the top of this head will also be major resistance. So we get through this major resistance, then we're working on the minor resistance of the next section. So here's the SPY, still in a downtrend, putting in a possible pivot here. We'll see what it wants to do, but creating the right shoulder of a possible head and shoulders pattern. So there's the SPY. Let's take a look at QQQ. All right, so here's QQQ. We'll look at that on the daily chart. Nice ride yesterday. We had a nice green candle making higher highs and higher lows on the candle for the day. We are creating the right shoulder of a possible head and shoulders pattern. Okay, this would be left shoulder, this hump right up here, this hump right here would offer the other left shoulder. All of this represents the head, and this would be the right neck. This would be the left neck. Now we are creating the right shoulder at this time of a possible head and shoulders pattern. We'll see where it wants to go. So there's QQQ. Now let's take a look at IWM. IWM doing the same thing. We have a left shoulder here, a left shoulder here, the left neck. All of this represents the head. This would be the right neck, and we are now working on a right shoulder for IWM. So IWM doing the right stuff, making a higher high and a higher low. Good job for the IWM. Also in an hourly uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. So you can see we've got IWM, hourly uptrend. QQQ, hourly uptrend. FNG, we'll get to that one. SPY, hourly uptrend. All right, now let's go take a look at FNGU. All right, it's the one that moves all the markets. Well, not all the markets, but moves the SPY and the NASDAQ. So here we are in an hourly uptrend for the FNGU and gapping up even higher. Wow, very nice. And if we look back, we have a head and shoulders pattern on the FNGU, and it's working its way back up to test the neckline back here. Okay, so the neckline is going to be probably at about 192, right about there. So we'll see how it works, how it reacts when it gets to that neckline. Right now, it's into minor resistance. See these valleys right here, this valley right here. So this here is minor resistance. And where are we trading right now? We're right up into the minor resistance. So possible just a doji candle today. We'll see where it wants to go. Possible pause right here at minor resistance on FNGU. Now it could bully and run all the way to major resistance, which would be these peaks up here, here, and here. So we'll see where it wants to go. FNGU. Now, the Diamond Dog Dow. So let's take a look at that. All right, so Diamond Dog Dow's putting in, it's just a pullback right now in a daily uptrend. Nothing pretty here, just a bear flag on the hourly time frame. If we look at it on the daily, nothing really pretty here to brag about. Nothing, barely making higher highs, not even able to hold it. Barely making higher lows. So diamonds kind of in rough shape here, but you know, if they hang out here on minor support, that is a good sign. They could move over to the right and eventually find some legs to go back up, challenge the midpoint of this pullback, and then eventually right into the minor resistance here and the major resistance in this upper green box. So there's the diamonds. Now let's take a look at SMH. All right, here's SMH, yesterday's candle, putting in a slightly higher low and just an inside day. Actually, nice recovery though from this bear candle down. So just closing inside the day. Not too bad for the SMH. Still in that hourly uptrend, okay, of the possible head and shoulders pattern here. We got a head, left shoulder, left shoulder, left shoulder, neck, left neck, and this right here would be right neck, creating the right shoulder right now. So SMH. Now let's take a look at XLF. All right, XLF trying to find support here on minor support. This would be the minor support, these humps that stick up. So you can see here's XLF in a daily downtrend, pulling back to trend and trying to find some support. It did. We'll see if they can bounce off of it. It's looking more like a bear flag at this time. Just an inside day from the previous day. Nothing really to brag about. Just continuing this downtrend. I don't see anything really exciting about this other than the fact that it could bounce off of this minor support. So that's about the only thing good I see. If it could bear flag over to the right, maybe over to trend, and then find some legs to get back up over this downtrend line, that would be nice. We'll see what happens. There's XLF. Nothing really pretty happening there other than a possible bounce on minor support. Transports. Here's the IYT. Transports doing the same thing. Kind of bouncing off the midpoint. Actually just bear flagging at the midpoint. Moving ever so slightly over to trend. Just kind of chewing time off the clock till they get to the trend line. So there we are with IYT. Notice pull back to the midpoint. This would be the minor support, this hump right here. And we'll see if they can find some legs and move higher, or if they're going to crush through this uptrend line that they started back in April, late April. So there's IYT. Now let's take a look at gold. Gold still in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows. Nothing really pretty about gold. Everything's not working for gold. Silver. Silver's doing nice. Back at the channel. Here's the channel right here. Back at the high end of the channel, up over the midpoint of its last move down, bouncing off of an uptrend line. So we'll see how far, if they're going to ride through this channel, the channel's going to ride through the uptrend line, or if they can actually find some legs to get higher. But there's silver. Now let's take a look at USO. All right, so here's USO. We have a small head and shoulders pattern here. And you can see we've got a shoulder right here and a shoulder right here. And then we've got our blockhead right there. Okay, it's a possible head and shoulders. Now we start producing candles below the neckline right here. Okay, start closing candles below the neckline. We could see this pull back to midpoint and maybe even come back to this, test the backside of this downtrend line right here. So there's USO. UNG. All right, nat gas testing the low end of the range, crashing through the midpoint, spiking the uptrend line. It's just a big bear flag on the weekly chart. If you look at it right there, it's nothing but just a big bear flag testing the low end of the range this week. Not pretty. I had hopes for it with winter coming, but I got to tell you, it doesn't look good at all for UNG. It looks even lower. So there's UNG. Now, let's go take a look at the dollar. All right, here's the dollar bullying again today. Up, consolidating in a bull flag pattern, now going back to test the highs. So, breaking this downtrend, working its way through this, over this falling 50 SMA. Dollar working higher and higher here in the US dollar. So, dollar's looking good if you're bullish on the dollar. We really want a weak dollar because that helps our markets go up. So here's the dollar working its way back up today. Let's take a look at the economic calendar. We got durable goods come out at 8:30, jobless claims at 8:30, and tomorrow's the big day. Jerry's going to speak at 10 o'clock in the morning, about 10:05. All right, so there's the markets. All right, for today, and we're kind of set up for next week. We got options expiration tomorrow, as well as having Jerry speak. So that's it. So now I'll take questions, and if you got some questions, put them in there, and we'll get them answered. And I'll see all you YouTubers again tomorrow.